how much advice are you getting from Roy, you know, as your career is progressing?
I get a lot. Roy did things for me that damn near saved my life. Like at first I couldn't speak about it because I had open cases pending, but now I beat all my court cases. And Roy played a big role in that. Roy wrote letters to the judge, and that's really why the judge gave me a chance. When she seen the letters from Roy, she asked me, like, is this Roy Jones Jr., the one my husband watches? I was like, yes, Your Honor. And she just told them, like, let me out of my handcuffs, and they gave me bail, and my mom bailed me out. And from there, I just been staying out of trouble. I just been chasing my dreams, working hard.
That's crazy.
Thank you to Roy Jones. Now that I can thank him for it. Speaking of Bellator, you know who I got a crush on? Who's that girl? She's like, you gotta know. She's
Valerie Lareda.
I already Valerie. Yeah.
I ain't mad at you at all, Pimp.
If you guys are plugged in enough, hook me up.
Hey, bro, I ain't mad at you at all.
This interview.
How much do you watch MMA?
If she's fighting, I watch it.
I'm with you, sir.
When COVID's over, I will be at all her fights. Front row. I'm a fan.
Hey, man, we'll have to let her know in the video, bro. Tell her like she's gotta come see you, bro.
When you guys interview her, you gotta make sure I'm on this.
Hey, bro, I got you. When we hook that interview up, Bellator, when you hear this, after we interview Miles again before he fights Bendo, you got to hook us up with Lareda, and then we're going to hook her up with Crunch.
Listen, you get me to talk to her, I'll hook you up with an interview with Roy Jones Jr. And that's a deal. That's
What up, everybody? This is Kyle, and you are back with a special extra edition of Knockouts and Three Counts, man. You saw this past Tuesday. We were shooting the shit, talking about UFC 259 and all the stuff that's going on with AEW Revolution in Jacksonville and all these things. But don't forget, like we told you, wrestling isn't the only thing we cover. Like we said, we were talking UFC 259, and with us tonight, we've got Crunchtime. We've got Mr. James Wilkins. How you doing, brother man?
I'm good. I just got out the gym. Got done actually with my third workout of the day. I did a little 20-mile bike ride earlier. Then I did a little leg work. And then today I did a boxing workout. Right now I'm only working with my right hand and my legs because of my arm. I tore a ligament in my elbow.
Man, I thought you was doing boxing like you getting caught in some arm bars, man. We're going to have to talk about that a little bit, man. Throw out your social media and let everybody know where they can find you, all that good shit.
So you can find me on Instagram at Real Crunchtime, Twitter Real Crunchtime, TikTok Real Crunchtime, Snapchat Real Crunchtime, everything.
Making it real simple for you. Follow the man, and if you ain't already doing so, make sure you follow the show at KO3C Pod. It should be right there in front of your face. Hit that button. Anyways, man, it's good to get to chat with you. Shout out to the homie AB, who's a past guest of the show, putting this together. But man, he was telling me how you made the trip from New York to now you're in Texas, man. So
yeah, I'm in Dallas right now.
Tell me about that, because I know that's not the only place you've been doing, but how long you been down there in Dallas? Because for those of you who don't know, we were just in Dallas recently for Pele Pro Wrestling, checking out the homie Sam Adonis making himself a bloody mess against Psycho Clown and almost getting beat up by an old lady. So Texas gets down, man. So how's it going down?
Texas is cool. It's different. I like it a lot. That's why I actually decided to stay. I've been here for about 2 years now. So it's real calm. It's different, especially from where I'm from, New York. Everything out there is wild, crazy.
Well, what prompted the move to Texas?
To be honest, I don't even know. I guess you could say like fate, because I wasn't even supposed to be here. I went to come out here to meet up with my manager, and I was only supposed to be out here for like a weekend. But then I wound up liking it within that weekend. I liked the training, I liked everything, and I just stayed. I still train with Roy Jones Jr. That's one of my coaches. I do half my camps here and I do half my camps in Pensacola.
Okay. And
All
what's
right.
that like traveling back and forth? I mean, splitting up camps. I mean, that can't be the easiest thing, I'd imagine.
I mean, it really ain't hard. Like this is my job. This is everything that I love to do. So when you love to do it, it's not a job. I don't look at it like a job. I'm not stressed. I don't think, oh, damn, I got to go here. I got to go there. I love what I do. I get to punch people in the face, get paid real good to do it. So.
All right. So since you
I'm
brought up Roy Jones, man, we got to ask somebody who knows Roy. What are your thoughts on the fight with Mike Tyson, bro?
Well, that to me, I feel like they gave the fans everything we wanted. A lot of people look at it like, oh, well, it wasn't all out. But at the same time, neither of them in their prime anymore. So, you got to take your hat off to the both of them, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. They fought at 50-some years old. I don't know a lot of people that could do what they did in their 20s. So, you hear a lot of things, but at the end of the day, me, myself, being a boxing fan, not even being a fighter, I always wanted to be able to see a Roy Jones and Mike Tyson fight growing up.
I think
so. For that to happen, even though they did it when they're 48, 50 years old, to me, it was like, damn, like I was happy to see that. Like that was like one dream come true, like getting to see that live. I missed all that. I was young. I didn't get to see none of that.
I agree. And then like the spectacle that came with it, though. Like the whole overall show of the whole thing was what was most interesting to me, man, because I didn't know. Obviously, I was tuning in because I wanted to see the fight, but dude, I didn't know what to expect. And then you got the whole concert thing in between each fight, and then you got
Tupac was smoking a blunt.
I know, man, like not giving a fuck at all. The whole thing sponsored by Weed Maps and shit, and then and then you got fucking Nate Robinson coming in here like, "How you guys doing?" and just get knocked the fuck out. Man, it was just it was interesting, man. And I mean, it looks like Triller's gonna keep himself in the boxing landscape, signing Toafimo for this next fight, man. So
hey, listen, I see they're cutting checks and stuff. I'm signed to Golden Boy. I ain't signed to no TV network though. So
hey, man, we got to get you at Crunchtime over here. You guys got to be paying attention. So you brought it up. Let's talk about that. What are your thoughts on being with Golden Boy and being a fan? Like you said, what does it mean to be, signed under a guy like Oscar De La Hoya?
It's cool. To be honest, I always wanted, like, growing up, I wanted to be signed with Golden Boy. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to get signed with the money team at first, coming out the amateurs. It was either Golden Boy or the money team. That's who I was aiming for. But like when I went to Floyd's camp and seen his gym and stuff, seen how everything was, it was good. They showed me love. I had great sparring there, great times at the camp. But I felt like there was something missing, like I done busted my ass training out there and I wasn't
You weren't
getting no paperwork. Not even that I wasn't getting love. I was getting love in the gym because you had no choice but to respect me because I was fucking shit up. So you couldn't deny me in that fact. But I'm saying like it was getting to a point to where it's like, all right, now when are we gonna sit down and talk about signing or something like that? So then I started reaching out to Robert Diaz and Golden Boy back in like 2016, but I only had one pro fight. So that's when I started taking loans out and just building my name, going to Mexico because that's the only place I got fights. I was traveling to Tijuana, paying like $1,600 just to fight.
That's a grind, man. Because that's the thing we were talking about. We were talking about going into this interview because it's funny you bring up fighting in the amateurs and Floyd and the money team because when I fought a few times in the amateurs and growing up as a kid, I got into boxing because I grew up with cerebral palsy and stuff, man. Couldn't cut with scissors, couldn't tie my shoes, couldn't write my name, none of that good shit. So I used to get bullied. Mom put me in the gym down there in Detroit. point of what I'm saying is when I was in the amateurs, Jalen Love was still in amateurs and stuff down there. I saw him and Tony Harrison fight at the Trade Center. Don't know how many times back then, man. Like, how do you think, that's a good question. How do you think in 2021 the amateur system is different now from like when you were coming up?
I can't really say too much because, to be honest, I haven't been at an amateur fight to really analyze it and see it in person. But being around good amateurs like my boy right here, Mike, he fights heavyweight. He's going pro next year. But being around him and the other amateur fighters I'm around, they still work hard. You know, a lot of amateurs work hard because they got dreams of Olympics or Golden Gloves, whatever it is. Like when I won the Golden Gloves in New York, it was a beautiful feeling. Like I felt like there was no feeling like it. So even when I go and I'm fighting in the pros, like when I'm walking out of that tunnel, I keep locked in and I just remind myself, like, you went from winning the Golden Gloves to going pro and having to pay to fight. You know, like I didn't come into the pros making money. I had to earn my way to make money. So every time I fight, I just remember a time where I had to pay to fight. Like imagine having to pay to fight. Like anything can happen in that fight. Like anything can happen. And I'm paying.
You lose your life in the ring, man.
Yeah,
and you're paying to do it.
And I'm paying to fight. So like when I had to go through that, it set a different mindset for me. Like I understand like everything. I'm not going backwards. I understand each fight forward is a fight to where I can keep raising my stock and brand and make more money. Or you could go back to having to pay to fight. And I'm not going that way. So whoever in front of me, I'm just have to handle you. You gotta go.
I can't even, dude, that's crazy. Corey, what you got?
I was gonna say that seems to kind of be a common theme in boxing, not necessarily paying to fight, because that's by far not necessarily a common theme. That's you kind of going above and beyond, trying to build your name, like you were saying.
Hustling.
But yeah, that's some true hustling right there. But no, in all honesty, that time, like you were saying with the money thing, it is a common theme in boxing, man. You see the top of these cards, man. These guys are making some real money. But yet you see the guys that are still working these life.
But you gotta know how to do it. It's like you gotta have a thing for cameras, you know, like you gotta be able to shine in that time. If you're just a fighter that just knows how to throw a punch and people come and see you and they're like, all right, cool, fight. This bitch kidding me. My bad,
good.
bro.
You're good.
Y'all
Did you
good?
hear
No,
that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, your audio was still there.
Oh,
You good?
shit. My bad, bro. I apologize.
You're all good, fam.
You're good. You're good.
You're all
These
good,
girls,
fam.
listen, but I'm single, man. So these girls be at wrong time. Like,
ain't it always, though? It's always at the wrong time.
Yeah. Call me anytime. Right now?
Hey, man, it's always like that. And then they're like, oh, well, you didn't answer when I called you, though. I was doing an interview. No, you weren't. Here's the link to it. Well, that's a lie.
Yeah. So freaking, but that, I mean, like, what was I saying? The hell was I saying? This girl just fucked up everything I was saying. Back to so like when you're fighting and it's like, you know, if you just know how to fight, people get tired of seeing somebody that just knows how to fight. They want to see charisma. They want to see something like to remember, you know? So I feel like you got to be a fighter that brings all traits. Me, I'm not just a fighter. I like to bring swag. I like to entertain people. If I can entertain you while I'm whipping somebody's ass, I like to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's a common theme. That's one thing. All right. So to kind of preference the show, I guess you could say to you, I come in as kind of like the MMA guy where Kyle covers most of the wrestling, and between the two of us, that's where we get the knockouts.
I was gonna say, what are you trying to say, fool? I'm the one out of the two of us caught.
Ooh,
Ding, ding, ding.
Kyle getting salty. I'm just saying, I don't know shit about wrestling, so that's why I'm saying I'm on the MMA side myself. But the reason why I bring that up though is see, now you threw me off my fucking point, Kyle. You trying to, man.
You guys want me to finish the interview? So which one do you,
now we're gonna switch roles.
which one of you guys have a high IQ in wrestling?
It's definitely me. I mean, look what's behind you. You see Ric Flair, you see Stone Cold. It don't take a whole lot.
Hey, you know it's crazy. Growing up, I had a Hulk Hogan toy.
Yeah.
My mom took us to, because in New York they used to have all the wrestling events. So my mom took us. I met the Douglas brothers. I met Hulk Hogan. I met who else was it? I think Kane or something. I forgot.
That's dope, man.
I met all of them, man. My mom got us, whatever. We went, and Hulk Hogan signed my toy. He signed my cousins. He signed my brothers. He signed everybody's toy.
Man, that'd get you some bread these days. You still got it?
I went home. I ripped the shit out the box, started playing with it.
Oh, man.
that signature probably didn't make it 2 days.
Still to this day, my cousin has his in the box.
Hey, dude, that's fire. So were you a fan growing up?
I liked like Hulk Hogan. I liked the Douglas brothers. I liked who was it? The Hardy brothers.
Okay.
I liked who's that? I liked Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
I liked Booker T.
Past guest of the show, Booker T, sir.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
The Rock. Did you watch his new show?
That's my favorite actor, The Rock.
Did you watch his new show?
Nah, I didn't, but I want to.
Bro, you got to, man. That Young Rock shit is hilarious, dude.
Like, I'm not a fan of many people, but if I'm to call myself a fan, I can honestly say I'm a fan of Dwayne Johnson.
I mean, I don't know how you can't be. That dude is like working when he's like sleeping.
His ability to transition from so many markets and stay popular throughout is just, it's incredible. Even if you aren't a fan of one particular like genre that he's doing or whatever, he's taken over every market. He's doing shoes, he's doing movies.
No, but that's what I'm saying. See, that leads to the same thing that I said with boxing. You got to be bigger than boxing. For you to be a Roy Jones Jr., Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, Oscar De La Hoya, you have to be bigger than boxing. To reach that stardom, you got to be bigger than boxing. You got to know how to sell yourself.
And the thing that The Rock was able to do, man, is like at first, people could say, okay, well, he was getting these movies because he was a wrestler and this, that, and the other. He has gone so far above and beyond that. Like, yeah, wrestling has now become, okay, he wrestled, but everybody knows him for what he's doing now. Like, wrestling has kind of become like the back burner. And the crazy part is there's a lot of talk that we could be seeing The Rock versus his own cousin Roman Reigns here in the next couple years at WrestleMania. So I'm all for that if that happens, just for the nostalgia purposes.
Well, so that kind of brought back to what I was saying earlier with the sports entertainment. So that's why I preference the whole thing with we do the wrestling and the MMA, is because one thing I keep asking all these wrestling guys that we have on is the sports entertainment aspect of it. Like you keep alluding to with the sports, like boxing 100% is a sport. You can go in there, compete, and walk out of the ring and be done with it. You don't even have to do your interview when you win. Or you can go above and beyond, do everything you can to build your market through social media, through whatever the case be, outside of even the ring, or even while you're in the ring. Like you're saying, like I was watching through all these clips preluding into the interview, you're swagging on these guys in the ring, man. And like that type of stuff, like fans notice it, that type of stuff carries your name through to the next fight to all these guys. And that's, like you said, it alludes to the sports entertainment aspect of it. A lot of guys look at it just as a sport, and you definitely have to have the entertainment aspect of it to build your name.
Yeah, and people are gonna love you and hate you for it. I get a little bit of both. Like a lot of people don't like me for it, but I don't care. Because at the end of the day, it's a fighting sport. So I feel like, what do you want to do? You want to fight about it? Like, okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, there's a reason guys like Conor McGregor and that ilk do what they're doing. I mean, you can say, at the end of the day, if you can back it up behind what you're talking, I mean, that was the thing. People hated Conor McGregor because he talked all that shit, but then he went in and won the titles. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it was like, what are you going to say? Now, let's see if he can get up off his ass, and let's see what's going to happen next, because they're talking about him versus Poirier again.
Well, I mean, especially we can use.
Yeah. They want to finish the trilogy because Conor knocked him out the first time.
Yeah, and now he not kind of out. So now it's like,
yep. So they both said they want another one. The UFC 155 division is like, dude, the UFC.
My boy Kevin Lee, isn't he in that weight class?
Yes, sir. From here in Detroit, man.
I trained in Las Vegas with Kevin Lee, his brother Keith Lee, he's Bellator now, and
Cody Stamen.
And no, who's the other kid? You know, the big French guy.
Ngannou?
Yeah, Ngannou. He trained with us too.
Dope. All right, so I gotta hear it. So you got to train with him, man. How do you think he's gonna do against Stipe, bro?
Who's that?
Ngannou.
And man, that guy, he's
Stipe is the champ over there in UFC, but Ngannou is the one supposed to be fighting him next.
There's God gifted, and then there's just God, I don't know what. Like that man is just built different.
How was his boxing? From a pro boxer, how was his boxing?
Pretty good for a UFC fighter. Pretty good. Like he could punch. Like he knows how, because he trained with one of my good friends, Dewey Cooper. Dewey Cooper was training him. So when I would go to Vegas and hang out and chill with them, I would train with them as well, because I don't just travel and not train. And then again, I was in Vegas for 2 years.
So you already had connects down there.
Yeah, so I go back to Vegas and I still got people I can go out there, train, show love. You know, Roy Jones got a gym down there. I could do whatever down there.
What is that like for you, man? Like, I know we talked a little bit about it in the beginning, but like, dude, that's got to be wild, you know, for you being a fan coming up to like have how much advice are you getting from Roy, you know, as your career is progressing?
I get a lot. You know, Roy did things for me that damn near saved my life. Like at first I couldn't speak about it because I had open cases pending, but now I beat all my court cases. And Roy played a big role in that. You know, Roy wrote letters to the judge, and that's really why the judge gave me a chance. When she seen the letters from Roy, she asked me, like, is this Roy Jones Jr., the one my husband watches? I was like, yes, Your Honor. And she just told them, like, let me out of my handcuffs, and they gave me bail, and my mom bailed me out. And from there, I just been staying out of trouble. I just been chasing my dreams, working hard.
That's
crazy. Thank you to
man.
Roy Jones. Now that I can thank him for it.
Right. That's a hell of a shout out right there, man.
Yeah. Roy definitely. He's a good dude. Real honest, real humble, real solid. Like if he loves you and he fucks with you, he fucks with you.
I respect that, man, because I had something real similar, dude. For me, like I said, I trained both the boxing, but I got a purple belt in jiu-jitsu as well. Like I eventually crossed over to MMA, and I got to train with Miles Jury. He's in Bellator now, but he was in the UFC for the last 7 years. And I knew him since he was like 19. You know, we came up training together, but I was when me and Corey were younger, we didn't always hang out with the best people. I got popped by DEA when we were 16. And, he kind of like took me under his wing because I was just doing some dumbass shit, and it's crazy now to like see what he's doing.
Don't indict yourself now.
Hey, man, they ain't got nothing they can put on me. They tried. They tried, dude. They tried and it didn't work. I knew better. I knew better, bro.
We're past that boat.
Hey, we're way past that boat. We're good. But like I said,
speaking of Bellator, you know who I got a crush on? Who's that girl? She's like, you gotta know. She's
Valerie Lareda. I heard
Valerie.
I ain't mad at you at all, Pimp.
If you guys are plugged in enough, hook me up.
Hey, bro, I ain't mad at you at all.
This interview.
How much do you watch MMA?
If she's fighting, I watch it.
I'm with you, sir.
When COVID's over, I will be at all her fights. Front row. I'm a fan.
Hey, man, we'll have to let her know in the video, bro. Tell her like she's gotta come see you, bro.
When you guys interview her, you gotta make sure I'm on this.
Hey, bro, I got you. When we hook that interview up, Bellator, when you hear this, after we interview Miles again before he fights Bendo, you got to hook us up with Lareda, and then we're going to hook her up with Crunchtime.
Listen, you get me to talk to her, I'll hook you up with an interview with Roy Jones Jr. And that's a deal.
I'll air shake on that shit,
That's
my guy.
Deal. I'll bring you Roy Jones Jr., you bring me her.
Hey, so since we're talking about that, since you're with Golden Boy and Oscar, what are your thoughts on all this talk about him fighting again? And if so, is there anybody that you'd specifically like to see him fight if he fights again?
I don't know who he would fight because I'm trying to think like who else from his era would want to come back. I heard something about Fernando Vargas.
Okay.
I think they said something about him and Fernando Vargas. I'm not too sure. I mean, I would be happy to see Oscar fight again. I think he could do it. He's still training, And if he does fight, since I'm his fighter, I hope I could be on that undercard. They put me on good undercards. They put me on I was fighting on the Jaime Magia and that Irish kid. I fought on that one in San Antonio. And then I was just supposed to fight on March 20th, Maurice Hooker versus Virgil. My stablemate Virgil Ortiz. So Golden Boy takes care of him. They put me on good cards. So if Oscar hears this too, I would like to be on that undercard as well.
Hey man, put it out in the ether, bro. I'm a full fan of that, man. You put it out in the ether, bro.
Yeah, that's it. You got it. You got to speak it to the distance.
Hey man, we're gonna be getting into quite the weekend this weekend ourselves, bro. We're gonna be doing an interview tomorrow night when you guys see this. Thursday night, 9 p.m. we'll be live with Mega Ran, who is going to be doing one of the theme songs for AEW Revolution that's going down in Jacksonville, Florida. So we're headed down.
Oh, that's the one you were telling me about. You're gonna be out here.
Yeah.
When you're gonna be out here in June in Dallas.
Yeah. So Pele Pro Wrestling, they're gonna be down there at Legal Draft Brewing Company. Their first two shows were a lot of fun, dude. They were both.
Listen, I told you, man, I'm a boxer, but I do it all. If I could do wrestling for a check too, I'd do that.
Hey, Pele Pro Wrestling, we got you another star in the making in this bitch.
Send the contract.
Hey, I ain't kidding, bro. When we come down there, I'll set the promoter for that is an ex MMA fighter, bro. So like,
makes $1. It makes sense.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, bro. All right. Are you watching the UFC fights this weekend? Big card this weekend.
I mean, I probably see it if it's on TV. Like if it's on, what is it gonna be on?
It's gonna be pay-per-view this weekend because it's a big card. You got 3 title fights.
Is it ESPN Plus? Yeah, I probably watch it.
Because you got Corey, give us the rundown real quick since you're Mr. MMA.
What are your thoughts, Corey? Let me know.
For the main event of the night, we have Israel Adesanya moving up to 205 to try to become one of the few double champs in UFC history, taking on Jan Blachowicz for the 205 belt. And then in the co-main event, we have perennial 2 division champion Amanda Nunes.
There ain't no female that's gonna beat her. That's why.
Yeah,
Valerie will beat her if she was in the UFC.
Hey, Crunchtime's baby wants a shot at the strap.
But she's taking on Megan Anderson in the co-main, and then
that's an interesting fight.
And honestly, my most anticipated bout of the night, we got the 135ers at bantamweight. We got Petr Yan taking on Aljamain Sterling, and that's gonna be my most anticipated fight for sure.
Oh yeah, dude, that fight's gonna be fun to watch, dude.
Hey, whatever happened to Ronda Rousey?
So she went to WWE and killed it over there. Was the champ over there. They did the first. I was there. Ding, ding, ding. It was in New York. It was the first women's main event in WrestleMania ever.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so she was over there, and then she got knocked up. So she's off TV right now. So
she got knocked up.
Yeah, she got knocked up by Travis Brown, and then dude, she'll be back in WWE soon enough, though.
Well, a question I do have for you though, since you kind of brought up the fact that we're supposed to be fighting on the Virgil card. What's up with the injury? How long are we looking? What's the turnaround time on what we got going on?
I can't give an exact date on when it will be better because I don't know. Only God knows. But the doctor told me I gotta do a 4-week rehab and then they'll check up on it again and see where it's at. So I'm hoping when they check up on it after 4 weeks, I'll be good and I can fight in April.
Okay. And you, I remember you were saying it was ligament issues. Is it torn or is it just partially tear?
There's a slight tear in my ligament in my elbow.
Okay.
Man, that's why I said I thought you was over here practicing arm bars because I almost had my arm done like that when I got caught in an arm bar, but it wasn't from boxing.
No, I'm assuming left hand. That's from jabs over the years. Right?
I'm sure.
I just throw every punch with bad intentions, so I guess it was my bad karma.
Hey man, and that's a good question. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this since you're an up and coming guy, man. So with the whole thing and the way things went down with that last fight with Roy fighting Mike Tyson, what are your thoughts on guys like Jake Paul getting these huge paydays over some of the guys that were on those cards? Because I've heard a lot of backlash from a lot of guys in boxing that you hear a lot of people saying they're frustrated that dudes making so much more money than these dudes who are seasoned fighters. Do you think that it's something where like that guy's popularity warrants it? Or as a fighter, would it be something that would annoy you too?
I mean, as a fighter, like me, I stay in my own lane. I don't really care what anybody does.
I feel that.
I know I'm chasing my own dreams, my own goals. I mean, listen, like I said, if he makes money and it works for him, God bless him. You know, I don't really care for him. I don't care for his boxing career. I don't know nothing about him to really sit here and say, oh, fuck him, you know?
No, I respect it.
But at the same time, I feel like if he is gonna be in boxing and in the sport, then let's build him up with him fighting real fighters. I'm not saying throw him in there with a world champion tomorrow, but build him up with real fighters.
Real competition.
Yeah, like at least a real boxer. Like throw him in there with a guy that's like 5-5 or fucking 10-5 or something like that.
Kind of like they did CM Punk.
And see where he's at with a real fighter. And then if he wins and he keeps beating up
a real
taxi drivers, if he keeps on beating up real taxi drivers and builds himself up, then cool, all right, whatever. But I don't really me paying attention to him is like me paying attention to 6ix9ine. I'm not gonna argue with somebody like that, you know. Like, I mean, hey, like I said, God bless him. He's making money. Good for him. Yeah, I don't care. I know I make money when I fight. So,
hey, I respect it. I just wondered your thoughts because I've heard a lot of different stuff from, you know, I've heard both sides of it. You know, listening to things like Ak and Brock, and then man, you hear some guys all pissed off about it. Some guys you don't know. Go ahead.
I mean, I heard like what Canelo said too. Like, you know, it is disrespectful that he could come here and just make all the money that he's gonna be making. But like I said, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with 6ix9ine. How do you kill something that you don't want to grow? How would you kill something you don't want to grow?
Put it in the dark.
Yep.
Don't give it no light.
Don't pay it no mind. But you know what you're gonna do every time you announce it and you keep talking about it, it's gonna keep growing.
Yep.
Yep.
So when people ask me about it, God bless you. I don't got nothing to say. I don't care. Cause you ain't gonna grow off me. I'm not gonna speak about you. I don't give a fuck about you.
Hey man,
understandable. I just kind of, in my eyes, honestly, it alludes to kind of like what we were saying earlier with the sports entertainment. I mean, even if you're high on the entertainment factor and less on the sport, in his case, where you know he's not as skilled and hasn't been doing this as long as people who should be necessarily more popular than he is, but he does have that platform, so he is bringing eyes to boxing in general. So I understand your point, and I also understand other people's point. It's just, I get it across the board, honestly.
Yeah, if you're talking from like you said, like, you know, entertainment, he's doing good for himself. He's getting everybody mad, giving them something to talk about and think about. For me, it ain't bothering me.
Well, speaking of that, let's talk about the 130 division. What are your thoughts on that whole division, and what do you see as far as money fights? And what are your thoughts on guys like Tank Davis in that, man, since he's been all up in the news?
I mean, 130 division, there's a lot of good fights, especially for myself, that could be made.
That's what I want to hear.
So I'm happy with it. I feel like we got a great division to make the best of the best fights, and everybody can be happy. Everybody can make money. And you said, what about who, Tank?
I was saying, who are some of the guys you'd want to fight? Because I hear a lot of talk about Tank Davis in that division. I hear, I've been hearing a few names around there. You being in the division, what do you?
I done sparred every single one of them. Right? I sparred Oscar Valdez. I done sparred Tank. I done sparred all of them. So fight them, I already did. Fight them for a check, I would do again. Beat them for a check, I would do again.
Hey man, I respect it. That's what I want to hear, man. Like, scared money don't make no money.
They don't. And I ain't never been a scared dog in my life.
Hey man, I respect it, man. Well, go ahead.
One thing I want to ask you, since it seemed like you were almost at rap point, Kyle, is one thing I wanted to ask is, you seem to do a lot of flair with these trunks, man. I was digging those Puerto Rican flag with the flare outs and shit. What's some of your inspiration and shit behind some of these?
So I always put the fur on my outfits. I use the fur as like wings. Because when my brother passed away, I tattooed wings on my arms. Okay. So I use like the fur on my jacket and my hoodies and on my pants as like wings. I do it like that. That's what it means to me.
That's fire, dude. We were just talking about before you came in on the Zoom, man. I told him I was.
Wait till you see my next outfit.
Oh shit!
I ain't even gonna tell you guys. You guys gotta wait for that one. But
that just means you gotta come back on the show, though.
You got that fire. Sure. You got the fire shorts planned out, huh?
It's already made. Like, it was made for this fight, March 20th. It'll be at my house in a few, like probably like 2 weeks or a week.
See,
what's a little? I guess you could say inside baseball, but inside boxing in this case. What's the turnaround time on something like ordering some of those more decorative, like fancy design shorts and stuff? Because some of that stuff looks like crazy intricate. Some of the sequin shit, and like there's some people got a lot going on, and some people just do kind of the basic like white and gold look, so it's
I got a lot going on with mine, but mine usually takes, because my guy, he's so booked up, everybody goes to him. Body kit guy, everybody goes to him. So freaking mine usually takes about, I would say, a month to process, just because he got so many other people to work on it. But when he's doing it and starting your outfit, it don't take no more than like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and he gets it all together. The longest part is really just waiting for the material to come and everything like that, but he knocks that out right quick.
Well, that's a good question too. Do you got for you, did you ever have, like, for me when I was boxing, I always liked the old school Everlast gloves, man, like the ones where they, where you had just the old school Everlast patch. I had like the all black and white deal, kind of like
I used to fight them in the amateurs, like in the golden gloves and stuff. That's what they make you wear in the golden gloves.
Yep. I had like the all black and all that. So like, do you got like a favorite gear or anything like that? Or do you got like a favorite, a favorite glove, favorite boot kind of deal? Cause I mean, with you doing these customs, do you got like one you like to stick with, or do you like to switch them up?
I usually like to wear the same ones I always fight in. I usually fight in the Nike ones that my guy Shane from Nike always sends me this one pair that I really like. They're light. I either like those, or I would like the Reebok ones. Okay. I like the Reebok ones. But right now, I really just wear what makes my feet comfortable until like Nike, Puma, Adidas, Under Armour, whichever one of them start coming to check, then I'll wear just that. But right now,
I tried to wear, I remember back in the day, dude, my trainer was like, bro, you should try some of these Jordan boots, man. And I looked at them, I'm like, them fuckers are so heavy, man.
Like, yeah, Roy got a pair of them. I put them on in his house. Them shits was heavy.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I was
but
in the
hey,
ring
listen,
and I'm just like, damn, I feel like I got bolts on my feet. Like
I cut a deal with Jordan too.
Hey, I ain't mad at you. Now, don't get it twisted. If you want to sponsor me and give me some Jordan boots, I mean, hey, I'll wear them bitches left, right, and center. So
hey, like you could always do a custom design that's a lot more lightweight yourself too.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, now if you're talking about giving me my own pair, cool, we'll do it. I'm just saying, when I got to wear them back then, I'm like, damn, dude. I had the Adidas ones, man. That's what I wore most of the time.
Yeah, I usually wear the Reebok or the Nike ones. I think I wore Adidas once. I didn't really like how they fit. So
I had Adidas ones, but then I got the matching Everlast ones for the last fight that I had. Corey, you were there for that fight. I got the matching Everlast shoes to go with the trunks that I fought in that night.
What's your preferred glove?
Everlast.
See, Everlast, that's what I'm saying. Everybody always wants to shit on Everlast, man, but Everlast never did me wrong, dude.
There's two tiers with Everlast, right? There's like Walmart quality Everlast, and then there's professional quality Everlast. It's two different.
I mean, but that depends on
how hard you're training.
You know? It depends which you want to buy. Like,
right.
Everlast got great equipment.
I agree.
Right.
That's the thing. Go ahead.
I don't even say that because they take care of me, but they got great equipment. Like, I like Everlast gloves. I like the not the MX ones. I like the Elites.
Mm-hmm.
The Everlast Elites.
Well, that goes to my point. Like you were saying, you know, they call them the Elites for a reason because they have tiers. You know, they have products that are made for people that are just going to do like some cardio kickboxing class, and then they have products that are made for people that are professionals. You know.
So I don't know if you would agree, but I would go as far to say, man, at least even for me, like I was nowhere near the level you're at, but I would say anybody that ever ends up taking their training seriously, you get to this certain point where you're like, all right, I'm not buying fucking, if I'm gonna be sparring and training, I'm not buying no Walmart shit, dude.
Right.
Like, I mean, I would go as far to say most people are like that because I got to be that way when it came to gis, when it came to trunks, when it came to like all that shit. And,
no, I'm not saying professional fighters or anybody that's taking any type of training serious is using that equipment. I'm just saying that's why Everlast has that name, like you were kind of alluding to with people sometimes shitting on it, is because they have the gear across the board. So a lot of people who are shitting on it are getting their hands on this shittier lower end of the equipment, and then they're trying to judge everything else based upon what they had the experience.
I mean,
that's what I'm trying to say. You know, I guess I should have gave a little more context.
That's fair. That makes sense. I can see that. But like I said, man, we appreciate the time. We appreciate you coming and kicking it with us. Like I said, once we get your fight announced, you definitely got to come back and rap with us again, man. Like I said, it was a pleasure.
Oh yeah, sure.
And when I come down to Texas, bro, you gotta shoot me your number over, dude, and we'll link up when I get down to Texas.
Before you end the interview, we gotta bring my man Mike along because when you come to Texas, he's gonna be out here with us. Hey Mike, pull up. My boy Mike right here, he's a heavyweight amateur boxer. He's turning pro next year. He's gonna be pro next year.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, so you gotta be on the lookout for my man Mike right here.
What's good?
What's going on, my brother? You excited to make that move to pro?
I mean, in very few words, yeah, I'm very excited, man. The amateurs can get a little
monotonous.
Like, yeah, man, like it's a lot of bullshit in amateurs, man. So, and plus I'm fighting this, like I swear, bro, I fought the same dude like 5 times already, bro. You know what I'm saying? Can I whoop someone else's ass for once?
Well, especially depending on how much traveling you're doing and stuff like that. But with heavyweight amateurs, I mean, a lot of these guys and the bigger guys, especially, they want to get paid to do it, man. You know, they're putting their chins and stuff on the line every time they go out there. So they're trying to get paid to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm a different type of heavyweight, man. I'm not too worried about like getting hit too hard or this or that. That shit just turns me up. You know what I'm saying? And plus, like, I'm elusive. I'm on the smaller end of the heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm about to fight, I go into the fight at like 215, 220. A lot of these guys, they I mean, I'm talking about I've seen heavyweights up to 260, 280.
Right.
6'6", 6'7", 6'8". So it's like, damn,
Well, let me ask you that though. With you being a heavyweight and making your way into the pro ranks and that, for you, who at heavyweight is the guy that you like, that you've got your eye on most? Are you more of a fan of the style of a guy like Tyson Fury, or are you more of a style of a guy like a Deontay Wilder kind of deal? Like, to me, Fury is the most exciting guy to watch at heavyweight right now for me, just because the flair and everything he brings with it.
Right. Okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, shout out to Fury, man, for the big comeback he did, man. Kicking the drug habit, losing the weight, and then being the only man to defeat Deontay Wilder. So shout out to him for that too, you know what I mean? And shout out to Deontay Wilder for giving him a chance to do that, man, because a lot of guys wouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? So salute to both of those guys. But with the Deontay Wilder issue, man, shit, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if you got knockout power like that, hey. Who needs to box? You know what I mean? It's just, you blessed, but it's crazy, man. Like I want to feel, I low-key I would love to spar him, man. I want to see what the hype is about. I want to feel that punch and see, is it real? You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say, is it real? Like I'm just so curious about it.
Do you think he shook with all that stuff?
Say it again.
Do you think that he shook with all that stuff, with all the stuff with his trainer and all the stuff that's been in the media lately?
Man, that shit's boxing, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like boxing is full of conferences. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people only know what people put out there, but there's a lot more things going on behind closed doors. So I tend not to like be so one-sided when I see stuff online and stuff like that. Cause you know what? It could be me in a couple of years and I don't want to respond to it because I know it's bullshit. You know what I mean? So
I hear you. No,
but
that's kind of why we conduct the interviews the way we do. Is we try not to do it, super heavy interview based, because a lot of that stuff just ends up turning into clickbait and stuff. We kind of try to dig more into like what the person actually stands for outside of the ring or outside of the octagon or whatever.
Right. And both of those guys, man, they're good guys outside of the ring, man. I be watching not just their boxing thing, but the things that they do outside of the ring also. But those are good guys to look at. But the one that impresses me in heavyweight, man, you guys might laugh at me about this, but I love the way that King Kong Ortiz fights.
Okay.
And that's the guy that got knocked out twice by Wilder. I honestly think he should have had the first fight, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was winning both fights before he got knocked out, to be honest with you. But that's my guy, man. He's an older guy, of course, and he's on his way out or whatever. But
I feel like older in that case is an understatement. We don't even know the real age of that man.
Exactly. That motherfucker probably pushing 50. Yeah. Like, you know how them Cubans do it, man. So I mean, man, I love his skill, man. I love his he's a dog, bro. Like, he's a dog, man. He got mad skill, and man, I love it, man. He's a dog. So that's my guy, bro. I look at a lot of his stuff and like he's so technical and stuff like that. So that's my guy, man.
That is actually a really good shout out, because I feel like he is somebody that's kind of really underlooked in heavyweight boxing because of the fact of fortunate matchmaking in the sense of going against.
Hey, that's just the
sometimes, like you said, that man's blessed, But he really is, and you can even see it, like you said, in both of those bouts, man. It's kind of a common thing against Wilder that people win until they don't. Either they win, or they win until they don't, type deal.
And he hit with that hammer.
Yeah, and he did it way more impressive than most. Honestly, he really did.
Yeah.
That's a solid shout out. Really is.
Yeah, man. I take what I can from these fighters, man. Like I do my film. I look at I look at a lot of film, man, and just I'm trying to be as technical as I can before I make that move. You know what I mean? I want to be ready, man. Right now I'm a man fighting boys. You know what I mean? Getting myself ready to fight men. So
do you have a timetable of when you're eyeing wanting to make the debut?
I don't. It's all about, like, I got to get with my team. And first of all, we got to see if I even want to go pro at heavyweight. You know what I mean? So
I hear that.
I stay pro at I stay amateur at heavyweight because, like, when I go to these national tournaments, these big tournaments, I got 3 people to fight. But when I go, if I was to, let's say I was a light heavyweight, I was 178 or something, I'd probably have like 5 or 6 bouts to do. So it's an easier road for me to get the accolades that I need for my pro day.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Because then you can be in better shape for it.
2022, we're going to build him up. 2023, he going to fight for a title.
Oh,
hey,
we're
I like it. We'll have to
around.
bring him back on once we get all that lined up. Like I said, same goes for you, man. That's how we rock this way, man.
Hey,
if you guys like of day, man, you know how we rock.
You like funny shit, you gotta watch his TikToks.
Oh boy. What do we got?
Mike TikToks. Them shits right there. That motherfucker right there. He's stupid.
What kind of shit do we got on the TikTok, man?
Man,
let me see. Play a video. We're gonna play you one video.
Nah. You don't have to follow you what you're doing. You want to see that?
You gotta follow him. You gotta follow him on the TikTok to get the full experience, man.
Hey man, you know, like it's boxing. You know, it's boxing, but at the same time, we gotta have fun with the shit, man. You got what? Yep. You know, you gotta have fun with what you do, man. So, man,
hard work. I said, that's how we rock here on Knockouts and 3 Counts. If you check out any of our interviews, you know, you mentioned some of the wrestling stuff. You mentioned Booker T. We just had him and his brother on the show recently. Sir.
Can you dig it?
So, like I said, man, you go back, check them out. All of them. We had Diamond Dallas Page down there. We've had guys from UFC, Bellator, all the line, but you don't see all this question, man. Because at the end of the day, don't nobody want to feel like they're on the stand and stuff over here, man. We're trying to get to know you guys behind the scenes, outside and inside the ropes and all that good stuff. So I want to thank both of you guys for your time, man. And you guys definitely got to stay in touch because we'll definitely have to bring you both back once we get some fight news for you gentlemen.
Especially when you got Val.
Yeah, Betty.
I'll line that up.
Listen,
you line Roy up. Well, it's crazy for all of us, bro.
You get her, and I got Roy.
Hey, I hear that, bro. Be careful what you wish for, man, because it was funny that this interview happened the way it did, because I swear to God, it was funny, right? Because we've been on a wrestling roll for a while. He's like, bro, you know, fighting's starting to pick back up, you know, but this, that, and the other. AB called me about you during the show that we were doing Tuesday. We got some fun stuff that you guys got to stay in tune for the XFC Young Guns that's going to be going down on NBC March 27th. As we've already talked about, we've got the young gun Austin Bashy from out here is going to be on here, but we got a few other things from out there, a few kids coming from Vegas and Extreme Couture. So like I said, it's funny how things work out. Put it out in the ether, man. You're going to have you a good fight coming up soon too.
Yes, sir. That's a fact.
Hey, man. Corey, I think that's as good a place as any is to line this one up. But we thank both of you guys for your time. Both of you guys throw out your social media real quick. Let them know where they can find you.
Oh, my Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, Real Crunchtime.
Well, Mike, you're talking all this jive about these TikToks, bro. Tell them where they can find you on TikTok.
It's Mike with 3 E's and Allen. That's it right there. Check me out. I'm telling you, it won't disappoint. It won't disappoint.
Hey, man, 2 for 25 or 2 for 50. Is it like Mr. Allen?
Put the pussy in the bag. Yeah. Put the pussy in the bag.
Hey, man, you know how we do down here. If this is your first time checking us out on Knockouts and 3 Counts, we appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button. And like I said, by the time you see this Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. we'll be live with the homie Mega Ran.
One more thing. Make sure you go order your Crunchtime t-shirts. I probably got like 15.
Let them know where to find them at, man. You got to get us one of them Crunchtime shirts, bro. I send you a Knockouts and 3 Count shirt.
Bet that. That's a bet.
Hey, bet that up, bro. We're all about support out here, bro. You got some fans down here in Detroit, bro. We'll come mess with you when we get back out to Texas.
For sure.
Might have to get you in that wrestling ring, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We had to get you in that wrestling ring. Well, until next time, in the in-between time, peace.
Thanks, my man.